So it's been 1 year now since I lost my entire business and had to start from zero. So 14 years ago, I joined a small direct sales network marketing company and loved it. I thrived there. I met so many friends, business flourished. It was awesome. Over 14 years, over 10,000 people had joined my team. I was making a great full-time income where I was able to hire my kids to help me throughout the years with different tasks, which was amazing because I learned so many great entrepreneurial and technical skills. And then eventually my husband joined me as well. We were both working and it was something we could do together, a common interest, a common goal. It was awesome until it wasn't. So for any of you who have been in a career or job or direct sales company that you've absolutely loved, you know how it can be your entire identity. It is your community. It is your life. It is everything. So to suddenly realize or get the news that you're losing it all is pretty devastating, pretty devastating. And we had gone all in. My husband and I were all in. We had ditched everything else we were doing. My husband had lost his job during COVID, during the lockdowns, and that was a blessing because we thought now we can really work together. This was a step we've been wanting to take for a long time, but didn't have the guts to do it. So we doubled down, we joined together, and we worked our tails off for this direct sales company because we knew it was having some issues and we knew we wanted to really help it succeed and live on. And so we worked as hard as we could. We put everything into it and we were determined to save this company because we loved it. And we loved all the people in it and the relationships we had made. We loved all our customers and we just loved what it could do for our family and what it did for our family, and enabled us to move down to our favorite place in the world, South Florida, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful thing while it was there. I mean, through the years, we had also added other things, like I had started selling courses on how to grow your direct sales team. And due to criticism, I let that get me down and say, I'm quitting that. So I had quit that. So I'd quit promoting those courses several years prior. So we had cut most of our other income producing opportunities, or at least narrowed or at least whittled them down quite a bit so that we could fully focus on the success of our network marketing business. So we were all in, we were dedicated, we were excited, we're going to make this work. And then we got the devastating news 1 year ago, it's been about 1 year ago now, that we were going to, that the company was going to a different business model. They couldn't sustain the MLM model anymore and they were going affiliate. So we would be losing our entire team, which ended up meaning over 95% of our income, what we had counted on as recurring income that came in regularly every month, was gone. And all the people we were supporting and helping and had relationships and friendships with, well, not gone, but you just don't have, without that regular working relationship where you're working on that common goal anymore, that just, those relationships just kind of faded away. So as I said, this was devastating for me, and I'll bring my husband on another time and do another video. We'll share more. But for me, it was a loss of identity. This was my identity for, at that time, 13 years. 13 years, that was my identity. I was at the top of my direct sales company. I was the direct salesperson. That was my identity, right, in that company. And it was just crazy. So then I found myself going through the 7 stages of grief. And I found out, once I learned more about this, that my that other teammates, especially the leaders, those who had really invested a lot or been in the company a long time, were also going through the same stages of grief because it is such a big loss. I mean, it's not like the death of a spouse or a child or something like that, but it's still a big loss, and you still go through that grief. I mean, I was totally grieving. So maybe what I have been through, I'm going to share, help you go through it, and just comment below. Have you gone through a huge loss, like the loss of a job or a career or a company, or maybe your network marketing company restructured and you lost your team, or maybe your company just went totally under and closed their doors and now you're left wondering what to do. So maybe this video will help you as you see what we've gone through and what to expect, how to cope, how to get through, because you will get through. So the 7 stages of grief that we went through, first of all, was shock and denial. We were numb. We were shocked. We were in denial. Maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe we'll just, that's okay. We thought we'll just 20 times our product sales to make up for that income, and it'll be fine. We'll be able to make it work. We're gonna make it work, right? We're gonna make it work because this can't be happening. This can't be happening. Even though, again, I had seen the clues. I had seen the clues that the company is struggling and they were trying all kinds of things to make it work, right? The owner didn't want to switch from a multi-level marketing company to an affiliate, but it was basically the last choice, right? And so he went that way just to save the company, and but still, it was a shock. It was just a shock when I actually got the news. When we actually got the news, it's just like I felt like I was going to faint, right? The owner came, he flew in and met with us at a restaurant, and I just felt like things just, I mean, I knew what it was about because he'd called us on the phone prior, but just hearing that news in person, like everything started swimming, everything started like, I just thought I was going to pass out right there at the restaurant. I really thought I was going to pass out, and I'm like, all right. So it was shock, and then you remain in that shock, you remain in that denial for a while. So that was the first stage, right? Just shock and denial. The second stage was pain and guilt, right? That pain you feel is like, can be almost physical, a physical pain of this loss, a physical pain as well as emotional and mental. It is very painful because not only have you just lost a business, you have, it's your life. You just lost just everything you do in your daily life and your identity, right? And then the guilt, oh my goodness, the guilt, right? It's just like, what could I have done differently? It was my fault this happened. It was my fault. If I just had done this differently, if I had just done this differently, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe I should have gone more in on that and more in on that. And my husband told me, hey, no, this past year, we totally went all in and did all we could. So we can feel good about what we do without any guilt. So that helped a lot, but still you go back and, well, what if we did this? What if we did this? Well, maybe we should have done that, right? The third stage, and this is really a tough stage, is anger and bargaining. Anger and bargaining. You might find, we found ourselves just being angry with other people. Maybe I just should speak for myself until you can come on, but I found myself angry with certain people, like, well, if they had just done this, or if they had just not done that, or they, right, made it miserable, or they did this, or they, right, and then, it's good to realize that that's natural, that is one of the 7 stages of grief, and you will feel anger, right? The key is not to stay there, right? Well, any of these stages don't stay there. So I also found with the anger, it wasn't, as I said, other teammates, other leaders were going through the same stage of anger, same stages of grief. And so a lot of times the anger was directed at me. The anger was directed at me. or they would come share with me how they were angry at others or this person or that person, or they had done that or whatever, right? There was a lot of anger going on, a lot of anger, and ruined some friendships. So sadly it did. So just as you're going through the loss like this, and especially if it's a network marketing company where you were dealing with a lot of teammates, just realize this is going to happen. So just have some understanding, some grace, and realize this is just natural. They're really not angry with you permanently. It's just how they're processing it. And then the bargaining part could be bargaining with God, or can I get this back? Can we go back to the way it was? Or it can also be like a desire to just go back to the past to make things different, to do things differently. It kind of goes back to guilt. If I could only go back, I would do things differently. I would do things this way, right? There's a lot of, if I could go back, I would do this. Can I go back and change this? The fourth stage of grief is depression. This is another tough one. This is so tough, right? Where you get to the stage where you just feel lost, right? I just felt lost. I felt lonely. I felt I have no purpose. What is my purpose? I'm kind of in limbo. No purpose, no identity, what am I supposed to do now? What do I go do now, right? It's just like that depression, just depression of the loss and what you normally do and the people you normally help. You're not helping them anymore. You're not building the way you used to build your business, and it's just really tough. That depression is a really tough stage to get through. But thankfully, the fifth stage of grief is that upward turn, right? So if you were in one of the previous stages, realize there is an upward turn coming. It will be coming. And again, it takes people different times to go through these stages, right? So just give yourself grace, give other people grace, right? There will be that upward turn where your mind starts thinking a little better that there is hope coming. The sixth stage is reconstruction and working through. This is where you're able to think a little bit more clearly. You can start working through your emotions, the pain, right? Your identity, what to do now, right? And it just is a more constructive stage to be in. And then you get to the final stage, number 7, which is acceptance and hope. So where you finally, we realized, okay, this is the reality now. This is our new reality. This is our new reality. That's not our identity anymore. We're gonna have a different identity, right? So not only accepting, so it's also accepting the good and bad, because maybe there were mistakes made in yourself and others. So you come to the point where you accept those, and that's just, right? We're just human, we're flawed, we make mistakes, right? And just giving yourself grace over that guilt, over the blame of yourself and others. So accepting the way things were and how they are now, right? But there's hope. There's hope because there is life beyond your previous business or network marketing company or identity. There is hope. There is hope. And this is when the sun starts coming in and you start getting excited, right? That things are going to get better. So the exciting part, the hopeful part, is that starting from zero, which is what we've had to do, start from zero, basically. Starting from zero can be a beautiful thing. Please, please remember that if you're going through this. Starting from zero can be a beautiful, beautiful thing and a blessing. And you may not see it now if you're in one of those previous stages of grief, but you will get there. You will get there, and you'll see the blessings. You'll see why it is beautiful. One is it just opens you up to so many new possibilities. It gives you time for things that you may have been neglecting for years. Oh, this is something I have felt guilt about for a long time, is I didn't spend enough time with the kids, and then now that I'm older, time with the grandkids. This has been a conflict with me for many years, and now I am freed up. I am freed up. I obviously couldn't make myself before make time for that, more time like I should have. So I was kind of forced into it. So it was a blessing. It is a blessing. So now I became forced into, okay, now how can I really focus on my kids and help my kids, especially my kids, my teen and young adult kids, or navigating that hard transition time? It is super hard now. And it is good now that my husband and I have the time to really help them through that, help them make their goals and see where they want to go and help them meet those. And that is so valuable. I mean, I can't tell you how valuable that is. So we are freed up now to do that. How awesome is that? So when you are in the thick of a thriving business, you can get into a rut. You get into a rut of your days being totally full and your mind being totally full of business stuff. And it's really hard. It's a habit. It's really hard then to break that habit and make that time for things that are truly important to you. So when you're forced into it by losing it all, that's a gift. That's such a gift to you, right? So one thing was, yeah, having more time for the kids and grandkids, and also my family who lives up in Ohio. I was able to go visit my mom, which a lot of times there just wasn't time for because we were in the thick of busyness with the business. So I was freed up to go do that. We just recently came back from a trip seeing my mom and my sister and my brother and nieces and nephews. And so it was just so nice. And I was so glad we were able to do that and freed up to do that. Another huge, huge blessing is that we were freed up in our time to now really reevaluate our lives spiritually, right? And have time now to seek God, to have more prayer time, to have more Bible study time, to have more worship time, to have more time where we're just getting to know God and working on our own spiritual development, which again, you get in that rut of busyness and it gets neglected. So now we were totally freed up to focus on the spiritual side and what is our true identity, right? My identity never should have been just as a leader in a direct sales company. That was the wrong focus. That's idolatry if that's the main thing in your life. So I had to realize maybe that had become an idol in my life, and it's a good thing it's gone, right? It had to be destroyed. It had to be destroyed because it was idolized, and I was using that for my identity and my purpose and my meaning, when really only God should take that place. Only God should be your main identity and your purpose and your meaning in life, and everything else flows from that. So if your priorities aren't right, sometimes you may learn the hard way. You might lose it all to have to learn that lesson, but man, what a blessing it is. Man, what a gift that is. And I'm so glad that happened, right? And it's freed my husband up. He's taking an 18-month intense discipleship program. He never would have been able to do that before, but now he's freed up to do that. And I was also thinking, like before, I never had time to like have friends over and have those small group prayer meetings with my friends, right? And now I'm freed up more to do that. So just so many blessings that I've been freed up to do spiritually, relationally, and also in other business opportunities. Now we are freed up to pursue other opportunities. Now, my nature, my personality is I love learning about new business opportunities. I love trying new things. It's such a challenge. It gets me excited. I I see it as a game. It's really like a game. I'm very competitive. If you ever played a game with me, uh, I will beat you, whatever it takes. But I love playing games, and I see building a business as a game, right? Can I get this to work? I'll hear about a new idea and I want to try it, and I want to see, can I get this to work, right? It's worked for that person. Why can't it work for me, right? So it's fun to do that. So now I'm freed up to do that, because when you're a leader in a network marketing company, you really don't have time for side pursuits. I had tried, I said various times I'd tried different things like courses and stuff, but really it's hard to do two things at once. You really need to focus on your team and developing your customers and your sales and your team members. So that's what we ended up focusing on. So, but now I'm freed up to try lots of things. And I am telling you, over this past year, I have tried lots of things and I have realized that opportunity is everywhere. There is so much opportunity out there now. Every day there is a new business opportunity that you can get into, or a new strategy or a new tactic, or it's just like there's more now than I can even try. So, which is a little bit of a bummer because I do want to try it all, right? So now it's just narrowing it down. What am I going to focus on, right? I kind of focused on one thing for the past year, and now I have jumped into a couple new things, including my challenge to grow this YouTube channel and get it monetized and grow. So that is my challenge right now. So I hope you'll subscribe and follow me as on my journey. I'll show you my progress and see how I do with that. So that's my latest challenge. I've also started a new podcast and a lot of other things. But again, it's my main problem is learning how to focus on one thing at a time. So I'm still working on that. So it's super fun to find a new vision, to have a new identity, have new goals, new loves, and right. So you may be feeling like you're in limbo and you haven't found that yet. And I still feel kind of in limbo that I haven't found actually the one thing I want to go all in on. So it's okay to experiment. It's okay to be in limbo for a while and try different things. And what we have found, if you don't exactly know which direction to go, is just to take the first step in one direction. You see one opportunity that sounds exciting to you, take the first step. Take the first step and go that way. Now the door may close right away and you realize, oh, that was a bad idea, right? That was a bad idea. That's okay. You move on to the next opportunity or the next step, right? Try another step and you may find, oh, I love this. This is great. I want to go all in on this, right? Or you might try something that's just mediocre, right? But you don't know unless you take that first step. So I encourage you, if there's something you're thinking about, just to take the first step and try it, because you never know what's going to happen. I do want to add one super important tip that has helped me a lot and it may help you a lot is to learn to be grateful. Be grateful to your previous opportunity, your previous company, for all that they gave you, all that they provided for you, the opportunity they gave you, the community they gave you, all the skills you were able to learn by being partnered with that company. It's just so many good things. So at first, again, you may be angry at them or you may blame them or any of these stages of grief. But in the end, I hope you will come to realize all of the good. It may help to just list it down, everything down on paper, and you'll see all of the great things that came from being a part of that company that were such a blessing and that you can be so, so grateful for, that changed your life and was a good thing in your life. And you are glad it was there. Even if it's not there anymore, you are glad it was there and you can be grateful for it. So be sure to be grateful. No matter what stage of grief you're in, remember to be grateful and thankful for the opportunity that you were given. So that is my short story of losing everything, losing my entire huge network marketing team 1 year ago, and what the stages of grief I've had to go through were and what you may be going through. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. You will get through. Just keep plugging along and you'll soon start looking for and you'll soon start seeing all of the hidden blessings in disguise, all of the things that has opened you up and freed you to do. Just get a new purpose, new identity, and it's exciting. And it just may take time. I'm still in that window of finding exactly what those are. So again, follow me on my journey and you can do it. I'm excited for you. You will get through. It's tough now. It may be painful now when you've just lost everything, but it will get better. And you will realize also, as I did, that starting from zero is a beautiful thing. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.